So if you're an R&B lover, you're an African, especially Nigerian, or Ghanaian, because obviously Nigeria, Ghana, we're sisters, brothers and sisters, you will be familiar with the name Afro Dija. Back in 2014, that's how far I remember, Dija was all over the place with a beautiful voice, and she still looks the same since I saw her in 2014, and I have the opportunity to have a sit-down, a conversation, a candid one, of course, with Afro Dija, coming all the way from Nigeria, and she's right here.
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
You are literally making me feel like, oh,
No,
Bex,
no.
you need to work on yourself.
Look who's talking.
Because listen, guys, do you believe, or would you believe that the woman sitting right here has 3 children? Of course not. No one believes it.
You're making me embarrassed.
You are such a beauty.
Thank you so very much.
Forget about the makeup. You're beautiful.
I was just going to tell you that, they make me look good, so.
But you look fantastic. Welcome to Ghana.
I really appreciate it. No, I've been welcomed very well in Ghana these last few days. I've been here, 48 hours now?
Okay. And you've
I've not slept very much.
You've tasted our jollof rice?
I'm going to, it's actually waiting for me. So after this, I'm going to, but as they go now, we're about to go into this one now.
No, we won't go into it.
There's quite a number of jollof rice. So
yeah.
You can't argue it.
I wasn't expecting you to choose Ghana jollof, obviously. I will choose Nigeria jollof, anytime.
But you've tried Senegalese jollof?
No, I haven't.
You should try it.
Oh, really?
You should try it as well. It's there now. They are the babas of jollof. They speak Wolof.
Oh, wow.
They are the creators.
So, okay. Well, this is interesting.
Yeah, but me, I just always say my mom's jollof just beats it. I don't even mind if my own is not. If my mom's own is.
Okay.
So
it's done. I mean, everything
I know,
is
right?
done.
Cut out.
But I mean, it's been a long time. I mean, correct me if I'm mistaken, but after 2014, 2019, I haven't really heard from Dija personally. I don't know what the fans think. Maybe I might not be doing my research well. Correct me if I'm mistaken. What happened?
You've done your research. I have been dropping. I actually haven't really taken a break, but I guess from the limelight, it's different.
Okay.
Once you've been sort of thrust into the limelight, and being that I got the platform of Maven, which is an amazing platform. The idea was everybody was seeing you and was ready to see the next things.
Yeah.
And then, along the way, inside my life, God's plan in there as well. I got married and I had a son.
Okay.
And I still was dropping. I was actually, I think Badu You was what you were probably mentioning that was around.
Yeah.
Badu You, I was pregnant with my daughter in Badu You, heavily pregnant in Badu You. So I was pregnant through probably most of my career.
But you still managed to, work around.
I mean, come on, like women, we have to give it up to ourselves. I don't know how God created us,
Yeah.
but thank you to all the women ahead of me that made it look possible, and that's just what makes me know that it's doable. I mean, they did not die. They did it, and may God, continue to give us strength. And long life. But the idea is, no matter what with children, you have to give your 100% attention.
Yeah.
And music is a very, very jealous career. So I never really left music. I dropped 3 EPs since then, and I'm working on my first album.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So with this, I think it's just right for me to ask whether or not music has always been what you wanted to do. Has it always been like that? Tell me about the journey.
Yeah, it's a journey. It's still a journey.
Okay.
I feel I won't lie. Motherhood has made me really, really confident. I love being a mom. I can't tell you it's easy. I don't think any mom, but they said if it's easy, then you're not doing it right?
Yeah.
So the fact that it's not easy means you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Because it's for me, it's honestly been a blessing. It's been a learning experience. I feel my experience between then and now, I've grown in many different facets, and I hope it shows in my music. you know, my fans are, I don't know how to thank my fans. They've stuck by me.
All the time.
Through the years. It's
Yeah.
more of like, now wow, now you with a way to, we don't understand. So it's not that I never left music, to be
Okay.
honest. I was always doing music.
music.
But the truth is, the limelight, yeah, maybe I pulled back a little bit because there's only so much you can do at the same time. So I was doing it, but honestly, whatever takes precedent at that point, I just put my heart and soul into it, and that's just what people see. You know, I put my heart and soul into my family, I put my heart and soul into my music, and I just hope that it transcends any form of, oh, whether she did or she no did. That's the idea of music. But I've been doing music for quite some time.
Yeah.
My first professional taste of music was in 2009.
Okay.
And that was when I did a Beat Music Award competition. A friend of mine, Aman, in Canada, I was going to uni at the time, you know, and I was like, I gotta have some balls. I don't know if I cursed there, but I gotta do this. And, you know, the thing with music is when somebody wants to do it, especially as Africans, you're like, hey, go, this one, school and all that stuff. So I ended up, she put me in the competition.
Okay.
A friend of mine, Toya, and I, prior to that competition, went to a competition, and The Voice, actually, and it was funny. I just opened my mouth. I was like, oh, yeah, thank you. I was like, oh. You know, because there's a lot of people. So after that, my friend was like, you know, I think you should try this. Like, let's see what you can do. And I ended up winning. Alhamdulillah, I ended up winning the competition. In fact, I was just like, I don't know how. But I ended up winning because it's not like I know anybody in Canada, so you can't say it was like, you know. And from there, I was able to do a song called Rocksteady. You know, winning the prize was I was getting 4 songs with Rockstar Music Corp at the time. And that was actually pretty dope. You know, it made me like, oh, wow, okay. People are actually, like it's people not, trust me, when I heard myself then, I was like, oh my God, I've grown, you know, but it was, I guess you see potential. Yeah. And you meet different people in your life. And, you know, I don't want to say the rest is history because I'm still creating what my future is. But after that, you know, you push and push and push and you realize that there are different things that you can, and I decided to come home. To Nigeria. And in between, I know I just left a lot of years in between, but I know I don't have much time. So from that to where I was, it was a bit of a struggle in terms of just trying to break through whatever it is an artist feels their breakthrough is. Yeah. And I think I was in a point of just feeling, I'm not sure if, I know it's for me, but maybe I just want to maybe write because I was trying to write for like a girl group and different things. And I was actually in a girl group once.
Oh, how did that
I don't think anyone actually knew that. It was called Georgia Strait in Canada. And I mean, it was okay, but I just learned that I tend to work solo or, you know, maybe I can write for the group or things like that. You know, there are very different politics in when you work, but the girls were really cool and they tried their best. We all tried our best. Yeah. I actually went to Canadian Idol as well. We were like handcuffed.
Oh, you have a lot of
history. So there's a lot of things, but because I'm one of those people, if you don't really ask me the specific questions, I probably don't ask, almost like a don't ask, don't tell. Yeah. So it always comes out like you're hiding, but it's just, I don't offer up too much information if you don't really ask me the right questions.
I understand.
That kind
so
of stuff.
are you still with Mavens?
Once a Maven, always a Maven, you know how that goes. Okay. But yeah, so my manager now, I met my manager, Ernest Audu, and Solomon Shania. And it was just by, you know what, he didn't tell me which label or anything. He just said, you know, I want you to send me some songs. I didn't have a manager, so I asked somebody, like, can you help me? Like, let me just, even if they're not going to manage me, let them just listen to what I have. Yeah. And he just sent some of my stuff along the way to Baby Fresh, producer Baby Fresh on Maven. And he literally, you know, I guess he sent it to Jazzy, and one day they told me to come and visit. I didn't know I was going there, and the first time I met Jazzy, I wanted to sink into whatever I was sitting on, you know, and I guess they say the rest is history. It's just, I met Ricardo along the way, I met them, Tiwa. You know, it was crazy. I was like, these are people I'm looking up to. I'm like, you are doing what I thought was impossible. So it's amazing, because, you know, you're seeing then Beyonce, you're seeing everybody else, and you're like, okay, but I don't relate as much because I'm not from there. Yeah. Even though you want to. But when you're seeing people from where you're from, and they're showing you the possibilities that people told you, oh boy, if you do this one, you'll be this, or you're that, and you're just like, oh my God, and you're now in their presence. And it was definitely I don't know how to say it. God is interesting. God is amazing. And it gave me, like I said, another boost.
Yeah.
And within I met Jazzy, and it took us at least 8 months to 9 months before they even gave us a contract. I didn't know whether I was going to get signed. Along the way, I met Ricardo and Korede. And, you know, it was...
I don't know where he's now.
You know, I feel like for Korede he has fantastic music. He has fantastic music that you haven't even heard yet. I think for every artist, every stage, you know, every level is a different devil. So we just have to deal with how we want to manage it. Because maintaining being, after you've entered the spotlight, I think is harder than breaking through.
Tell me about it.
You don't know it until you
get there.
Yeah, you know. You don't really even get, where is there?
Well, I don't know, but we keep saying, I want to get there.
Because once you now get where you think you wanted to go, you want more.
You want more.
You know, like human being, we know they tire. We just, you know, we want more. And it's like there's a monster inside of you that you want to keep feeding. And honestly, between that and, you know, I also have a friend of mine who also managed me while I was in States. She really helped me through a lot, Lisa Norman. I didn't want to skip that part of my story. But I'm sure when I have a lot of confidence, I'll do a documentary. You know, maybe you'll help me through.
I will. I'll write everything for you.
Yeah, but for me, I think music there's a monster inside of people that music picks. I don't think you pick it. I think it picks you.
So I think that passion, I guess, drives you to do what you do. But how do you juggle that with motherhood? Because a lot of people would, yes, go on break, you know, a bit of break, but you have managed to release EP whilst, you know, pregnant, you come back, you keep releasing stuff. How do you do that?
I mean, for me, I always believe that there's someone listening. I'm not going to tell you that I don't want the whole stage. Okay. You know, but we already know how this is. Like, you can't feed this monster can never be satisfied. Like, we could just go, but you know, there's sometimes, as a mom, I learned how to give myself some boundaries.
Okay.
Why? Because my kids, no matter what, or you just call me like this, I'll just drop it. It's okay. But my family is really supportive, and they want to see me, like, shine.
Great.
You know, and so I see that in my husband. I see that in my kids. Like, sometimes they're like, oh my God, that's mommy, and all these kind of things. I'm like, okay, you know what? I have a different drive now. You know, it might not necessarily go the same route, but we are going to the same destination, just different route, you know, and there's nothing more than having people that you're literally connected with. In this industry, always having a support system. When I first started, I'm not telling you I didn't really have a support system, but it's a lonely road. You're always alone in your head, regardless of how many people are around you. It's crazy. Like, artistry and music, I don't know how to explain it. That's why I always say that it picks you, because sometimes this thing, they give you dirty slap. Like, music will just slap you in different kind of ways, and you just still want it. You still have love for it. So it's almost like a crazy relationship, but you conquer your demons. That's the idea.
Do you sometimes as an artist feel under pressure to deliver more? Like you said, or you mentioned earlier, that you have, because you do this because of the fans, you're thinking of, you know, some people listening to you. So even if you decide that you want to take a break off, do something, you're still thinking about them. Do you feel under pressure to, you know, always keep up? I
mean, you know, like Olamide says, it's not making money, it's not making sense. So outside, it's not necessarily I'm not trying to keep up. I just want it to have value.
Okay.
The idea is I like to add value into people's lives. I don't want to take away things. I want to add value into it. And if you're going to pay to listen to me, I want you to have an experience. I want you to... So the passion comes from... even if you're paying, like you're paying, you're streaming, we have different ways of you know, generating money out of this. It's my life's work.
Yes.
You know, that's why it feels intense. But, you know, sometimes you just have to give yourself, you have to catch cruise, because you'll die there just being so intense in all these things. And that's what my kids, like you know, they loosen you up. Like, you can't strive for perfection when you have kids. You'll be coming out like this and you want to maybe breastfeed. You might have to change your outfit, or, you know, so it just... Yes, maybe at some point I felt the pressure of whatever it is I feel is pressing me. But as of now, I mean, bring it on. Like, I mean, I don't born 3 children. Which pressure you won't come give me where I know feel? Do you understand? Like, your kids would take you to the point of, you're the one that has to understand, like, you know what? You know that thing when your mom said, I brought you to this world, I'll take you back.
sit down. You can't.
Yeah, but they also taught me immense
Okay.
patience and lack of control. I can't control anything. I don't have control. It's up to God. I can't. What am I trying to control? How am I trying to cross every T? And I feel it shows in my new project.
Great.
I'm not in prison. I'm not in prison in my mind.
I'm coming to that project very soon. But because it's the first time I heard somebody or an artist told me in an interview that I'm doing this to put value. That's very interesting. So you wake up, you want to do music. What do you think about? You think about, okay, this song I want to preach maybe the goodness of God or something. What inspires your kind of music?
Honestly, in terms of strategy, don't look at me. I get very stressed out. It's like I've created the music. So, when you start, is music business, God help us. Like really, God help us. Because it's such a weird thing. Like as an artist, you want to have control over what you're doing. But you also want someone to leave you to be creative while they are doing the money side of things. But you also have to have sense.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that out there because these are the things that, no matter where you are in your life as an artist, it's based on platforms too. I believe a lot of people are very talented.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about, it's just God tends to direct things. And, like I told you, I said music has a way where but for me, I like to say everything, and the reason why I say everything is not because it's like literally everything, but I could be talking to you right now, and just because the way you're talking to me or energy, I could just be like, the girl in the white shirt, blue jeans, type kind of stuff. Like all of a sudden I start writing a story about, so you might have inspired me and you don't even realize it. No. So I open myself to sort of the world's secrets. Okay. I don't know how to put that. Honestly, I probably sound crazy.
Oh, no.
But I believe music is one of those things where it has a spiritual thing to it. So even though I know there's strategy to this, I just continue to ask God for the ideas. So sometimes a melody, maybe I was listening, or maybe I'm even listening to a song, like a song that just came out, and it inspires me to write another song. But it doesn't necessarily have to sound like that song. Yeah. But parts of that song, just maybe you heard certain things in instruments or something. Yeah. And like for me, I won't lie, when I look at my kids, the reason I get inspired because these are new human beings, right? I'm not necessarily writing about kids, but I'm writing about the fact that I think we're the ones that screw each other up. Because kids are show you how beautiful humans can be before you like F them up type stuff. Yeah. So that is where I was when I was like, wow, I've been in prison in my mind for a long time. Like a child is based on, depending on how I'm reacting and all that stuff, you're the one that even instills fear rather than respect. Yes. Kind of stuff. So I'm starting to understand sort of, I don't know how to call it, maybe the ways of the world or whatever. But if you go too deep, you might not come back. So once I just the Jones, they bring myself back. You know what I mean? So I do get inspired by a lot of stuff. But a lot of times too, things that are happening like in our country, you feel compelled to write. Like Save Me was one of those songs. There's a song Save Me around between 2018 to 19. I just had my baby. I was feeding on set. And part of the reason why Save Me came out like that was part of it that sometimes I wanted to cry because I was like, oh my God, like I'm going through all these emotions. Not even about that, I'm like exhausted. And you're telling me to shoot about my emotions constantly and I just experienced them. How do I bring them back? So there's this intense behind the scene kind of thing that, I don't know. So those kind of things tend to inspire the quirkiness, the uniqueness. Yeah. I don't know how they form, but my fans will be like, I like this about her. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that's what's coming out. But Save Me was about like, it was kind of like what was happening in the, like the poor never really getting out of the problems and how like politicians are always very full, but the people there politicking, quote unquote, are just always hungry type stuff. It's like when does this cycle of nonchalantness end? Because it's really not, that's how it is now, so it be. I'm one of those people where just because they tell you it's like that all the time, it doesn't make it right. There's other ways. It's just people have ways of speaking. So I use my music to probably advocate as well. I do have a lot of advocacy, but like I said, because if they don't ask me,
Yeah, I understand. We're still having the conversation. So when you look at your music, since you started till now, that you have a new album that you're working on, what do you think will be the impact that you've made on your fans across the world?
Honestly,
with all your music.
I feel like they should tell me that, but honestly, I would like the impact to be that when you look at me, if you see similarities in there, at least you know that you're not the only one going through it. There's nothing perfect about me. Imperfections are where you find your true self, actually, because it's your failure to be like somebody else that actually makes who you are. Like, why do you want to? So I actually embrace failure more these days, because I look at it as, okay, well, I can't do it exactly this way. So the fact that I can't, this way that I've done it, how do I sell this way? Instead of beating myself over the head that I can't be like you, or I can't be like, so it's just individuality.
Okay.
No matter how hard it, because the world forces you constantly, because that's how they understand to read you.
Fantastic.
Wow. But I'm trying to show that you can read me how you want. That one might be your business between you and God. But if you ask me questions, you might actually see where I'm coming from for a lot of things. So my music, I just really want clarity in people, learning clarity on who they are. I don't know how it translates, but maybe in the way, I feel like I'm more coming out more. Maybe, quote unquote, my fans say I'm always hiding. But I think
Do you think you're always hiding?
I just think my strategy is horrible. I think I'm very much too much in myself as opposed to selling. So I show myself, but you have to sell yourself. You know what I mean? It's almost like an intentional thing. So it's like, even though I'm being intentional, I think there's a level to the intentional stuff. And now with social media, I in all honesty, I'm not very strong with social media. I have amazing fans that have been there. Even my followers, I was like, oh man, they try. I need to give you content and stuff. But this is why I have amazing people. You can't do everything yourself. The one way I'm very okay with saying I don't know how to do something.
Yeah.
So I always find out, I'm like, can you explain to me how to... Maybe before I won't say I wasn't as confident in saying I don't know. We'll try and try. But it's okay to not know.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know. That kind of stuff. But I love life and I want to live it. I really want to live it to the fullest. And I think I've put myself for the longest time in my mental prison. And waiting go happen, go happen. Let the chips fall where they may. We are here and we're alive, and we should be grateful for that. So what I want in my next album for you to see, or in my album actually,
I was coming to that.
Okay.
I wanted to find out what could have inspired this album, and what are we expecting to see? Is it something new? Are we having an old? I just want to...
I actually have a song called Something New. It's not on the album, it's on the EPs that I've dropped.
Okay.
But I guess now that you mentioned it, I'll use that.
Something new?
Yeah.
The title of the album, though? Or the title is not
So
out yet?
I'm still on a working title.
Oh.
I did have a title at first, and then honestly, along the way, like while you're traveling, I'm like, you know what? That title is going to change.
Okay.
So until the album drops a lot of times, and that is why you have a team that will tell you, it's enough. Because you're going to keep picking and picking and picking and picking. So I would love to do, before the album drops, I would love to even invite people like you to come and do like listening parties. And you tell me how you feel, or what you're feeling from the album, from what you've known that I've been doing.
Okay.
Because I'm going to give you what I believe I have.
Okay. What do you have?
I have me, and I have a lot
of
love to give.
With this particular
Well, I didn't only, people know me for love, a lot of love. But I'm also sharing... not just about light. Darkness came first. Okay. Before light.
Okay.
So I'm going backwards. I've been showing you light for a while. So I want to show you from where I was coming from before. So it's almost like a prequel to my life.
Oh.
Right? Since I kind of missed out on so it's almost like a prequel. And then, this is where so I think I work backwards. How
soon are we, expecting this particular album?
I'm hoping by the first quarter
Okay.
of next year.
Okay.
I should give you something. I like to put things like that because, once the new year comes in, Corona really got all of us in a sensitive place where we now understand that we're not invincible. No matter how much. And once it's crazy. Once you start having kids, your thought process about death, life and death, is so different.
Okay.
It's so
Tell
different.
me about it.
And I mean, it's more realistic.
Okay.
It's more of you have something to leave behind and you want to make sure they're okay. You have, sorry, I'm getting a little emotional.
That's okay.
You have sort of a reason. It's not like you always wonder, like once you have kids, it's like, what was I living for? I thought I was living for something, but what really am I? So it gives me, I want to be great for them. And even if it doesn't finish, even if I don't succeed at what it is it's supposed to be, it finishes in your kids. Yeah. So at least let it be that I leave a platform, because this music industry, they get as them be a big. So make it be, say we solidify them for them.
Yeah.
No matter what. I know some people have this thing of, it's let them do, and yeah, they'll do it, but it's always nice when you kind of have a leg up in different things. So it's crazy. I don't know why I got emotional.
Oh, no, it's fine. I got emotional too, because I mean the bit about knowing the exact thing about whether or not, what's it called, between life and death, like you're actually feeling like
Yeah, when you're alone, right? You die. You get you just say, God, I beg, my mom, I don't even, my death is not really for me. Is who is going to be grieving.
Yeah.
So you're just like, God, please, like, let me just do the best I can now while I can. And like I said, Corona readjusted, it realigned me with what is important. And there's trivial things in this life that we just kill ourselves over. And trust me, after I talk about this thing, I'll probably still have anxiety. So I haven't figured it out yet. Please understand, I've not figured it out yet. But I'm giving myself a chance. I'm not going to die before I die.
I'm also not going to die.
You get, like, I got to live as since they say life is for the living.
Yes.
I want to be able to have other people see that, look, you can be completely and utterly destroyed mentally in this life, but you can pick yourself back up. And there's nothing stronger than the person that brought themselves out of darkness by themselves.
Speaking of mental stuff, I understand that you're advocating for mental health.
Oh, yes.
Tell me about that, and how is that going, and what inspired you? What happened?
I inspired me.
Tell me.
I could be having a mental breakdown and I'd be having an interview like this with you. I have literally wars in my mind. And I don't think I've openly had conversations about them because the stigma behind mental health and weird thoughts, it comes from, what is this you need in your life? You have all this thing but everyone has a story that they're not telling. And even if they're telling it, they're sugarcoating the story because you're like, share your story, you share it and it's like trivial to somebody. So even my happiness and my sadness, I kind of take it the same way. I'm not so, you have to praise for a lot of, like I take praise and insults the same way. That comes from my parents. Like you can't get too excited about the fact that they're praising you or get too sad that they're insulting you. It's just, that's what it be.
Normal.
I'm bulletproof. Even we're literally bulletproof. But I believe that so in terms of mental health, I've had weak moments. I have. But I'm one of those people that you just can't catch me. Not because you can't catch me. My people that are close to me have seen me I always thank them for their patience, their resilience, their love. Because you need unconditional love for anybody experiencing mental health. I don't even know how to explain it. It's thoughts. Worrying thoughts. I worry a lot. For reasons that I even hear myself asking, like, what did they worry now? I don't understand. You they worry and you they worry about worry. That one has sickness now. So, it's that's why I want people to understand that what they're feeling is, don't get it twisted. This camera is our film. After the camera, we have lives. We're happy, we're sad, we're depressed sometimes, and we pull ourselves out. but it's possible. You're not a write-off if you're mentally weak sometimes.
You know, as Africans, this is where we're coming from. We don't really talk about, you know, mental health. We don't put, or we don't throw the spotlight on mental health. I was listening to Taraji P. Henson one time. You know, she has a show, actress. She has a show about, you know, just to discuss mental health, because she believes that as Black people, we don't talk about it, and maybe we don't even know about it. I mean, I feel, how are you doing that, or how is that going with you? Do you think that?
Don't worry about me with all this. I'm very okay with this. Happens a lot. So don't worry. We're you know, this is live. We're talking, so it's happening. Your earrings can fall off.
I know. You still look pretty.
Oh, thank you. I told you it's the team. I'm telling you. Let's just go wash our face. No, but honestly, we don't talk about mental health. Even as of now, I'm struggling. I'm literally talking to you and I'm struggling. I'm finding the words instead of just saying, look, it happened, you know. Yeah. Because we're taught to not put our laundry out there. Laundry is like, put your best face forward. You know, your dirty laundry, wash it and clean it. Even my mom, she would tell you, you know, no matter what. And I know why. Because people trivialize your problems. You know, and sometimes I'm not even looking for a solution. I don't think people are always looking, because you can't give me solution. You know, be good. But sometimes you need somebody to listen. Just listen to you. And especially women. I think women, we're not necessarily always looking for a, you must give us, and you know, men are they compartmentalize, and it's like, it's either this or this. And so I think the idea is it's just communication. I think we have communication issues. I have communication issues. So I started to check myself. How can I be expecting someone to read my mind if I haven't said what's wrong with me? You can't just be squeezing your face. You know, but sometimes you don't know what's wrong. Sometimes it's chemical. Sometimes it's you're lacking even vitamins. Like, I didn't know I was vitamin D deficient. I'm thinking I'm an African. What am I vitamin D deficient for? But that also affects your mental health sometimes. Wow. It affects the way you absorb food. You know, so I started to learn more about myself that I didn't even understand. You know, because even our parents prior to that, you know, when we say, my parents didn't even believe in me, do you know their own mental health from before? You know, sometimes you hear a mom and say, is it because even me, I'm softer than my own, that, you know, it's a cycle, and I want to be one of the people that break it. It's okay to not be okay. Sometimes, but just don't stay in the darkness for too long. You need help to shine. Wow. You know. And so those kind of things, I'm not scared anymore to, like I said, I get emotional because I'm terrified about being honest about these things. I'm looking at a camera and telling people I've gotten weak sometimes. Like, are you joking? After I've dropped that song, what is weak about that? What are you weak about? You're talking at anybody you, but you're crying after the cameras go off. It's not just the music, you know, you have, like you said, the pressure. I don't even believe I put myself on pressure, but the pressure comes anyways, you know, and that's when I realized that, look, once you realize you're on your own lane, even in a race, look at the racetrack. Is it 8? You know, I ran track. I actually ran track in the States. Okay. You know, our team. Even funny enough, one of my really closest friends, Mame Ohenewa, she's in Ghana, and we went to school together in the States. We ran 4x1 together. Oh, that's interesting. We actually went to regionals with our high school. It's crazy. But she, you know, what I've learned is in the racetrack, you know, if you cross over to somebody's, you can get disqualified. So the idea of a lane is for you to understand that you can't, just like, go straight. You know, you don't have to even push anybody. Like, you know, I'm not dragging with you, guy. Like, there's supposed to be at least 7 billion. I think it's more, because between Yoruba people and Hausa people, we're born. So there might be more than 7 billion people in the world. But honestly, like, I let go of that pressure that you talked about when I realized that, guy, I did where I do, and my fans did where they did. So I want to relate with them. I feel like my anxiety made me neglect my fans in different places, and I love them so much, you know. But to them, it's like, you've left the limelight. But when you're pregnant, you go through different mental things. Pregnancy, as much as everybody's around you doing things for you, is, no matter what, a lonely road. And I don't say lonely because you're alone. Loneliness is very weird.
Yeah.
You have plenty of people around you, but sometimes you can't feel alone because you're the only one that understands what's connected with you.
Yes.
And that no matter what you say is, she get belle, or, you know, and I honestly always say this, like my husband wrote to me, God bless him, because he's a very patient man. And my children were very nice to me. So maybe my stomach wasn't so out, but my mental, and my, you know, I had a horrible insomnia. I wasn't sleeping. I had nightmares. Seriously, and I would wake up and I would just write about them. I didn't before, but now some of those nightmares, I turn them into songs.
Wow.
And that's where I call music my fairy dust, because that's kind of like my outlet. You know, and I feel sad for people that don't necessarily have an outlet, because that's where suicide, you know, my mom is going to always laugh about how I pronounce that word, but this one's for you, mommy. So, but you know, people go to drastic measures because they can't have outlets. And Africa, our outlets is always, don't disgrace yourself. Don't disgrace yourself.
Yeah.
Don't disgrace yourself. But sometimes you're not even planning on disgracing yourself. They say you disgrace yourself. Okay, maybe we disgrace ourselves together. As long as we're alive. If I'm dead, you're going to say, oh, poor girl.
Yeah.
What was happening? But you were part of my mental breakdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we need that outlet. Africans are resilient. That's why we don't talk about mental health. God put that strength for a reason. That is why they have gone through all this. But we were not created for suffering.
No.
Please don't equate Africa and suffering. That's what people are doing. We are kings and queens. You know, we elevate from suffering. And that is what I want for us. You know, like I'm from the north. I want the Almajiri system completely destroyed, because we're not beggars. You know what I mean? So there's enough to go around. I may not be able to do it.
Yeah.
But I'll damn well hell try.
You will, and I'm sure that
you know, and I hope to partner with more people to help.
Of course,
you know,
of course,
a domino effect across. I don't even need to be the face of it. Just help another person along the way. Pay it forward.
It's a laudable idea, and we're supporting you. You know.
Oh no, thank you.
Anyhow, any day. I'd love to. Well, it's an in-depth conversation we're having here, and I've learned a lot. I've never, you know, felt like this emotional, like this in an interview.
Don't worry, we're not going to cry. Hopefully, those tears will not drop.
No, we won't cry. But I mean, before I let you go, because obviously you're here for a purpose. I understand that you're shooting a music video here. I mean, before I let you go, shoot your music video.
Yes. Yes, and I brought an amazing Zella is definitely going to give them with that one.
Okay.
And but yes, I'm promoting Afropop, which is my EP.
Okay, tell me.
Yes, Afropop, Aphrodisia, APHROPOP. Okay. And the reason why it's Afropop is I'm not dragging. So Afropop is a lane on its own. You can join that genre, please. It's a genre on its own.
Okay, so we've left the R&B, or we're still doing
No, it's, you know, it's R&B is, I believe, is such a foundation to anything.
Anything, okay.
Like R&B is like, is Nadi Baba of, you know, of writing, of songs, of throwing out your...
Yeah.
But music is so big that I'm not going to allow anyone to just lock me in. Like, I'll come here now and I'll learn one kind of music and tell me I should not join you and feature on it. And so I will always yes, I'll always have the foundation of it. But I've grown. Even meeting Maven, my writing has changed. I don't even want to say change. There's value that has been added to it.
Yeah.
Like, I have more sense. No, for real. Like, it's, you know, I don't want to come here and come and be lying to you that it has been all, you know,
rosy.
You know, and also from me, I know I learned a lot, because you'll be so stuck in your way.
Yeah.
Nah so, but your way is always your way. Your way is always your way, but you can always learn. It's always your way. As long as you have your signature, it will always shine, as long as you don't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm done lying to myself. You know, I never really wanted to, but, you know, situation and different things just get you, and you're like, all of a sudden you look at yourself and you don't recognize yourself anymore. You're like, no. You know, so I pull back when I stop recognizing myself, because I want you to always have me. You know, and that's why it kills. That's why I think it kills musicians, because your work, your career is you. So when people don't like it, you think it's you they don't like. But I said I have sense. You don't have to like me. Just listen to my music.
So the Afro pop is what we're promoting now.
Yes, Afropop Volume 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so,
the reason why I did Volume 1 is I just have a lot to say.
Okay.
And I don't want you to lose it because our attention span these days. So I'm giving them, but I'm giving you a small cooling period.
And this Afropop is on all digital platforms.
Yes, you know, it's you can find it, and if you go to my Instagram,
Okay.
Aphrodisia, and all social media, Aphrodisia, Spotify Desia, it's there, Audiomack, Boomplay, iTunes, keep going, Deezer. You know, I'm so grateful to everyone that has pushed my music, and you know, media. I want to thank you guys because you are our voices outside of us not moving around so much. You know, I didn't even know the songs that people liked here until I came here. And you'll be selling yourself short, like, they don't like this one, they don't like this one. And then you realize that there's other people that like it. Like, it's not just one. Yeah, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to, it's crazy. It just feels like, I feel like a brand new artist.
No, you're not, but you're still here
brand
with
new,
us.
please, please. Brand new, my name is Aphrodisia. Check me out. Because you're getting new fans. As long as you're alive, you're constantly getting new fans.
Yeah.
And you keep thinking that, I've not done, I want to do something spectacular for my fans that have been there for years. And they are neglecting them and neglecting the new ones. You're just confused. And so I'm no longer in a confused state. I'm walking with God and the Spirit, and my children are my soldiers.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know.
So, I mean,
I find it hard leaving them sometimes. Because we go together, but school has started, so you know.
So let's. I mean, you've spoken so well.
I hope so.
I
don't remember now anymore, so please help me out.
I appreciate that you could make time with us here on the JoyNews channel. Thank you so much. But to your fans and the ones that you're gonna get like right now, right after this.
I know, right? You got me 4 fans, guys.
Tell what would you tell your 18-year-old self, growing up, trying to do music and all of that? Advise us.
Don't worry. Honestly, don't worry. And it's not that by saying that you're going to worry. But while you're worrying, remind yourself, okay, I've done the worrying now. Give yourself at least like maybe 10, 15 minutes to worry. Schedule your worry so that you don't stay there for very long. And remember that, don't just look like what's right in front of you. You're so much. You're like this and more. Spread your wings. Try different things. Talk to different people. Like I said, I get scared. Sometimes I come off like I just don't want to talk to anyone. But I'm just like, if I open my mouth, what am I going to say? Be bold. Fail at what you're doing. If you don't fail, you're not going to know what you don't want to do anyways. And then transcend beyond measures. Like, don't even care what anyone thinks. I'm sorry, I know it seems really harsh and rude, but people will project their insecurities on you. Remember that. It's not really you that is the problem. It's they have what scares them and they project it on you. So be as confident as you can be. And if you're not, find a person that really genuinely loves you and bounce off of them. You can't be the smartest in your crew. You've seen that before. You have to have people that have sense more than you so that they can pull you back and bring you out of that. Like, love yourself. Love yourself, please. There's nothing wrong with that. And that is what I want you to take away from this. And I want to thank you, honestly.
Thank you.
You're so amazing. The way you ask questions is... Thank you.
No, I already said that. You're like, the first. So I've always also wanted to have like conversations, real-time conversations with people sharing, knowledge. Yeah. Because
oh my God, I don't know anything. I beg. After this one, I don't forget. I cram.
Like you said, I mean, get people who are knowledgeable, who can pull you in. You don't have to be you don't have to always be right. I mean, you can. No. So
that right thing is how should I say this? Subjective. Yeah.
I'm also grateful for your time. I'm so grateful, and I'm grateful for all the knowledge that you've shared with us here on the show. Hopefully, you're listening. We'll see you some other time.